So it is a pretty rainy Saturday. Hopefully this mic sounds good and it's not glitching out like usually. And yeah, this is pretty much just gonna be a random video, but with a specific theme going on. I think the theme that I kind of want to discuss, which has been on my mind lately, is why am I not feeling culture shock? It's something that was constantly said or talked about before coming here to Japan. A lot of the programs would talk about it. Even teachers and other people who've come here before or gone abroad have experienced that sense of culture shock. And I know that that's pretty much right now early. Like, I've been here for like 3 months now. And usually the range is according to be like 3 to 6 months. But I'm getting the feeling that I'm not really going to get any of it at all. I think I have an idea why overall. You see that pretty much, I think it boils down to how my life has gone overall. I think that having moved a lot throughout my life, I kind of get accustomed to the sense of constant change, and I adapt pretty quickly, I like to say. I mean, just kind of as an example, it's, people like to mention that they miss certain food and whatnot, but within my heritage, I think food is very important for me and is very nostalgic, but not being close to where I could find it is okay for me for the most part. I mean, I lived in Alaska for 5 years at this point, before coming here to Japan, so I was pretty much as far away from Latino food as you can possibly be. So then that begs the question, what really makes people have this culture shock, or just this sense of really yearning for their identity in some sense? And for me, it's not like I really like to talk about where I come from. Having these thoughts about why people can get very attached, and honestly, some would argue that it is, because they haven't left their hometown, or they might not have a strong cultural tie to their family, to their background, and those could be the case, honestly. I might imagine there might be some type of study that talks about it, but I would argue that I think it has to do with the idea of knowing something beforehand, or have like the image of something before you actually experience it, and I think that really develops that sense of culture shock when you come to realize that that isn't really the case. Like, even for Japanese people who go to France, there's literally a syndrome, or like there's a name for it, where the Japanese people that go to France literally freak out because they don't know how to cope with the fact that this concept that they've made about France isn't true in real life, and so they just don't know how to cope with it. So I think it has to do a lot with how open-minded you might be about knowing what to expect. And the more that you tend to expect about something, the harder it is to let go of that reality that you made in your brain, and in turn makes you yearn for, it just makes you miss what you really hold dear. And in this case, it could be anything. So what do I want to get at with all of this? Well, I think that every person has a way of coping with things. But I think it all has to relate with how you set up these expectations about what are you expecting to achieve in life, or what are you expecting to see. And overall, I think that a good mindset would be to be pretty open-minded to experience new situations. I mean, even for myself, I won't come over here and say that I'm not nervous to interact or I'm not nervous to try things. I definitely am. But I think that once I jump over that hurdle, when I look back at it, I will feel very accomplished and proud about doing these things. And I could argue that is the greatest achievement / best way to not have this sense of dread and culture shock. So, to all my travelers out there who might be thinking about this question, why am I not feeling culture shock yet? I mean, either it hasn't hit you yet, or you deserve a pat in the back because you're pretty open-minded and you look at things without expectations and you really want to kind of live in the moment, right? Of course, that might come to the cost of being unaware of certain situations, but I think it's good to do at least some type of research, minimal, something that doesn't really create this big illusion in your mind about what you want to accomplish or what you want to see, what you want to do, but be very chill and gun-ho about it, for better lack of words. So yeah, so if you are someone who is thinking about this question, I mean, hey, I'm here in my tub, living the life in Japan. So who knows where life takes me next, and I'm definitely excited.